Hi learners, in this session we are going to discuss about finite automata. Let's start with a very simple example. This is a Microsoft Word environment. Okay, the status of my system is now that I'm currently using Microsoft Word. Okay, so as long as I'm typing something, let's say I'm typing like, hi learners, welcome to this session. Okay, I may even use bulletin. As long as we are doing some work on this corresponding environment, we say it is in Microsoft Word. Microsoft Word is in working state, right? Now assume that I want to close this Microsoft Word. I'll just go and press this close button. After that, you are given with a dialog box as with three buttons: save, don't save, and cancel. If I want to save, I have to press this. If I don't want to save, leave it with the previous state, I have to press this. If I want to get retained on the same working state, I have to press this cancel button, right? Just assume the fact that we want to model the working or the closure of a Microsoft Word application. So what is required? We want to represent closure of Word application, right? So what are the steps that we have seen? First, you have to press the close button, followed by the option that you have to choose in the dialog box. It will show you a dialog box within which you have to choose any of the three. One is save, another one is don't save, another one is cancel button. Now let us try to bring in a visual representation of this. Okay, assume I am representing a state Q0. Q0 is just the name of the state, that's it. Okay, which represents the fact that the user is using Microsoft Word application, right? So any number of times you press, for example, if I am pressing the keys of the keyboard, okay, alphabet keys, numeral keys, okay, and if you press bullets, all this operation, whichever you are able to do on the Microsoft Word, anything and everything you do, you are set to be in the working state. Okay, why am I drawing a loop of this kind? Because any number of times you can repeat this. Okay, so you can even stop without using this. One time you can use, twice you can use, thrice you can use, any number of times you can use. So what is Q0? Q0 is nothing but a state. Q0 is a state that represents working in Microsoft Word, MS Word. Okay, so now assume the fact that I want to close. So what is the input that I will give? So I have to press cross button, which is on the top right corner of your system, right? So when I press this cross button, the system should take me to a new state called Q1, which assumes the fact. What does actually Q1 indicates? It assumes the fact that user wants to close. Okay, and hence what needs to be done? It has to give you a dialog box, right? So in the dialog box, if you press save button, so what is your input? If you press save button, you should be taken to a state called Q2. So where this Q2 should represent the fact that all contents to be written onto drive. So what happens? I hope you can understand. So initially, so that initial state are represented by an inward arrow. Initially, we are in state Q0. Once we are in state Q0, whatever be the operation you do using the keyboard and the contents that is available, you will be stay in the state Q0, where Q0 represents the fact that you are working in MS Word, right? Now that if you want to close MS Word application, you have to press cross button. Okay, the system should take you to Q1, where you have to the user has to be given an option to click a save button, right? When you click on save button, you should be taken to Q2, where the system should or your application or your operating system should instruct to load the current contents onto the hard disk. Does it look like a normal flow diagram? Yes, of course. Why? This is a flow, right? From Q0, when you do an operation or other, it is taking you to another state. From Q1, again when you do another operation, it is taking you to another state. It's looking like a normal flow diagram, which is nothing but a finite automata. So what is finite automata? It will have So this finite automata is just an abstract modeling method to represent change of states with respect to inputs. Now with this you look back at your diagram, you can very well understand. See, these are the states. How this transition to states are happening, it is by means of your input symbols. Okay, when these inputs are being made, automatically the system, when these inputs are given, automatically the system tries to change from one state to another state, right? So that's what we call it as a finite automata. Right. Once modeled, okay, if you draw this diagram, this finite automata represents the language accepted by that machine. Okay. What is the language that is accepted by this? Okay. So whenever you are able to reach the final state, we say that is the word. So what is the first word? Closing the cross button followed by clicking on the save button is one language. These are the two inputs that is required for instructing the operating system to close Microsoft Word and to save the contents, right? So this is one word. Similarly, typing on alphabets followed by pressing the close button followed by clicking on save button is the another word that belongs to the language. So in short, this is an abstract modeling that will represent the language of the machine which we are supposed to design. Understood this basic modeling? Let's try to complete this task. You will be given with 3 buttons. One is save, another one is don't save, and third is cancel button. So when I press save button, the system should take you to one state which has to instruct to load the contents onto the hard disk. If I press don't save, okay, so suppose that if I click on don't save, okay, so it should take me to another final state. Why am I representing two different final states here? Because the operation when the system reaches this state is completely different from this state. So when I click on don't save, the system should retain the previous saved version and should drop out all the contents that is available on the RAM memory. Okay. Instead, suppose if the third button, which is the cancel button, is being pressed, again it should go back to the working model of the Microsoft Word. So which state represents that fact? Yes, it is the state Q0. So when I press or when I click, okay, cancel button, okay, the system should take me to a state which actually represents the working of Microsoft Word. This completes our diagram. Hope you can understand this. Now let's move on to define formally what a finite automata is. Right. You could see some components represented by circles, which we call it as states. So the circle represents states, and we could see some symbols that is written on the edges, right? So symbols is what we call as your input symbols. Okay, inputs. Then you have lines, right? Either it could be a self loop which is there existing in Q0, or it could be a line from one state to another state, in which case we call it as transition. Transitions are the lines that take you from one state to another state, right? So what else are there? You have a special state called Q0, which is represented with an inward arrow, which represents the starting part of our automata, right? So this is the special state, and you have some states represented by double circle, which we call it as final state. What these final state represents? It represents the termination of that particular abstract model. There will be huge number of final states depending on what kind of operations are you choosing. So it represents the final state of a particular work modeling of interest. With this, we'll try to formally define what a finite automata is. You will have finite set of states Q represented by circle. Then you will have finite non-empty set sigma, which is nothing but the permissible input symbols or the operations that is permitted. For example, in some cases, right click may not be permitted, so that will not come as part of sigma. There will be a special state called Q0, which is again a part of the state. There will be set of final states F. Again, it will be part of the Q, the set of states. And finally, you will have a transition function, which is a function of Q cross sigma into Q. So why it is written as Q cross sigma? We know that you can write like this: from Q0, when I type characters, where type is your input symbol, you can remain in the state Q0. So these two are part of state. This is your input symbol. That's why this is Q, this is sigma. So you have to have a Cartesian product between this, which should take you to Q, which is nothing but the state. Okay. So that's where you can formally define a finite automata to be. It is nothing but a 5 tuple Q sigma delta Q naught and then F. Fine. Now let's try to represent the same in generic terms. Right. So whatever we have seen like a simple inputs, these are all for our own understanding, for example. So now let's try to make it very generic. So you have a state Q naught. So now if you apply input symbol 0, it remains in the same state. Now if I apply input symbol 1, it goes to state Q1. If you apply input symbol 2, it goes to state Q2, and then again if you apply input symbol 3, it goes to state Q3. Suppose if I type give input symbol 4, it take me back to Q0. Okay. So now if you just map it to Microsoft Word application example, what is 1? 1 is pressing cross button. What is operation 2? It is clicking on to save button. What is operation 3? It is clicking on to don't save button. And then what is operation 4? It is clicking on cancel button. Right? What is operation do? Any operation that you do in MS Word. Right. The same you map it to PowerPoint. Again, it's the same, right? So the first 1, 2, 3, 4 remains same. 0 represents any operation in MS PowerPoint, right? So that's what we call it as a general representation. So now what is Q here? How many states are there? We have Q0, Q1, Q2 and then Q3. What is sigma? Sigma, what are the symbols you do have? 0, 1, 2, 3 and then 4. Which is the start state here? Again Q0 is the start state because it is represented with an inward arrow without having any source state. Now what are the set of final states you have? Q2 and then Q3. Okay. Now the only thing is how to represent delta. Finite automata can be represented formally using two methods. The first one we call it as transition diagram, where Q will be represented in the form of circles, sigma will be represented in the form of symbols, delta will be represented in the form of edges, and then Q0 will be represented by an inward arrow, and then the final state will be represented by double circle is what is the visual representation, that is transition diagram. This may be useful for human where visual representation will have a very big impact, but while going for implementation this is not at all enough. So we do have another representation model of finite automata, which is transition table. As we know that name table itself represents a two-dimensional matrix format. So the rows will have the states. So we do have 5 input symbols. Just write down the transition from Q0 when you apply 0. What is the destination? Again it is to Q0. From Q0 when you apply 1. What is the destination? It is to Q1. And from Q0 there is no transition on 2, 3 and 4. Similarly from Q1 we have transition only on Q2 which is to Q2, and on 4 it is to Q0. No other transition. From Q2 we don't have transitions at all, and here also we don't have transition at all. So this is your transition table format where the states Q will be represented in rows and sigma will be represented in columns, and Q0 will be represented by an inward arrow, and then F will be represented by either a double circle or a star. So now Q2 is one final state, Q3 is another final state. And what about delta? Delta will be written in the cells. Right? Hope you would have got a simple introduction about finite automata, followed with its representation using an example. Let's continue design of finite automata in the next session. Thank you.